welcome to the Geeking Poetic podcast channel.
On this channel, we have shows and segments that contain adult humor,
bad language, dirty jokes,
and other stuff that is strictly for mature audiences only.
So if you're too young or too sensitive for this kind of material, then please do not watch our channel or our videos.
This channel is not for you.
Thanks much.
And now, on with the show! About to fall over.
Pork chop sandwiches!
What's going on, guys?
How you
doing?
guys?
How you guys?
Doing all right.
You doing aight?
Aight.
Alright. Then we all aight. Welcome to Geeking Squad podcast number 17. Holy moly. 17 already, huh? Still feels new. Like, it still feels like we just recently started doing this, but I guess not.
Nope.
Pretty soon it's going to be like a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is. We're going on our third year now.
That's super crazy.
I can't believe we're still doing this.
Still chugging along.
It's fun.
Yeah, that's why we do it.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody at home or wherever you are that's listening to this? This is the Geeking Squad podcast. It is a show based off of the Geeking Squad group on Facebook, which is pretty much free and open for anyone to join as long as you respect the rules.
Not an asshole.
Yeah, as long as you're not an asshole. Then people are going to be
Fun
like...
asshole.
I was just going to say, people are going to be like, then what are these assholes doing on there? Well, you know, we don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion. We don't talk about any of that controversial stuff. We talk about pop culture stuff. We talk about movies, TV shows, music, comics, toys, books, controversies, you know, the fun controversies. Like, is there really aliens in Area 51? And how big is a dinosaur butthole? And all of these things.
The things that really matter in
The
life.
things
Right.
that do matter, you know, they matter, folks. And we like to talk about all the things that get featured in the Geeking Squad group. And we pick the best stuff and we talk about it here. I'm one of your hosts. I am Larry Roberts. Down the way from me, he's, he's in the mood for some pork chop sandwiches.
Yes, I am.
Pork chop sandwiches.
They smell really damn good.
Get the fuck out. Megan's just like, I don't even know. She's not hip to the G.I. Joe PSAs, unfortunately, but it is none other than...
You're a stupid idiot, Vito.
And the one that's just rubbing her head in dismay over here because she's like, oh my God, what do I have to deal with being on the show? It is none other than...
Megan Guess.
How are you doing? You all right?
Yep, I'm okay.
She's hanging in there.
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, she's...
One step at a time.
Yeah, she can't hang with me and Vito, we enjoy...
You guys gave me a headache.
Yeah, we enjoy some silly stuff. She had never seen the G.I. Joe PSA parodies from like 15 years ago or whatever it was. It's some of the greatest things ever created. I mean, there are so many evil atrocities out there because of the stupid-ass internet, the World Wide Web, the interwebs, as they would say in Dianthford, live on the interwebs. But man, having the G.I. Joe PSA parodies is one of the true blessings.
Now I see where we get our ideas for our teasers.
There's a little bit of truth to that.
It's all starting to make sense.
There's a little bit of truth there. Yeah, I have to admit. But anyway, all right. Enough of our yapping about all this kind of stuff. There's a lot to talk about.
Dive right in.
Let's just, put on your little swimming cap, your little goggles, your little Speedo, and you're going to just dive into the deep end of the pool with a little bit of...
What's shaking, bacon?
It is...
Surprised you didn't say that to say what's shaking pork chop.
Well, we're not going to be that derivative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no pork chop sandwiches around here. It's all bacon. So in What's Shakin' Bacon, we like to pick the prime choice
Cream
cuts.
of the crop.
Yeah. and talk about it here on the show. One thing that came up in the news recently that I not, I guess, really newsworthy, but I just thought it was really funny was that they interviewed Bill Burr.
Oh no.
And I think it was the Tonight Show or something like that. He was on, and they were talking to Bill Burr about, you know, his whole appearance on The Mandalorian. Of course, I mean, if I have to explain to any of you at home what The Mandalorian is, good Lord, why are you even listening to us?
We did a whole thing. Just go come back.
We talked a lot about The Mandalorian on this show and its own review series and stuff. But Bill Burr, the comedian actor, appeared in a couple episodes, and he was really funny. He was great as a character on there, but I guess, you know, typical of Star Wars fans, they like to nitpick things. Not all Star Wars fans, but a certain bunch of them like to nitpick things, especially nowadays. They're never fucking satisfied with anything. And one of the things they were nitpicking was the fact that he has a very distinct Boston accent. And they're saying, oh, how does that work out having a Boston accent in space? And Bill Burr pretty much said, he was like, yeah, right. He's like, as opposed to all those fucking people that have British accents and out in space, you don't blink a fucking eye, you know, or the fact that people are speaking English in outer space, you know, how does that fucking work? But, oh, yeah, we can't have a guy with a Boston accent out in space. Yeah, exactly. You know, Star Wars fans are just so stupid.
Idiots.
Exactly.
Didn't they do the same kind of thing to Picard? Like, he's supposed to be a Frenchman. He doesn't have a French accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did
It's just
that
the
too.
reverse order.
That okay, but you know what? That I could kind of get a little bit. I mean, if you're supposed to be like, you know.
But it's not apparently if they're going to pick on his Boston accent. They shouldn't have any accent, apparently.
Well, but I mean, the difference is he's not, for all you know, whatever his race is out in outer space, you know, years ago, far away,
Bostonian.
could have a Bostonian type accent. If you say, I'm French, but you're speaking with a Boston accent or something, that's kind of fucked up.
Well, it's just like the TARDIS. It kind of, after a while,
Yeah.
it just kind of fixes itself so it makes sense to you.
Okay.
No?
Yeah, I guess we'll go with that.
All right.
I don't know.
tried.
It never
I
the
tried.
Picard thing never really bothered me.
It
you
never
know?
did me
I was
either.
like, okay, so look at how many people, you know, were born and raised and stuff in England, but then they moved over here, and now they don't even sound like they're from England anymore.
Exactly. You leave a spot long enough, you lose your accent.
Exactly. Kind of
You
like,
never hear my Oklahoma accent.
I was just gonna say, just like somebody who grew up in Oklahoma, I hear it every now and then. It comes out now.
I go
and then.
home and I come back. I'm like, howdy, y'all. How's it going?
Yeah.
Like, oh, crap.
I do hear
Start
it.
all over again.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars series like The Mandalorian and stuff, we had some news come up about possible characters that we might be seeing.
Yeah, they are officially announced for Mr. Thrawn in Ahsoka that Lars Mikkelsen
Yes.
is going to be playing him in live action. And I guess he's the one that played him in the animated series. He
Right.
voiced him.
Right.
So it sounds like people threw all these names out, Benedict Cumberbatch, Robert Downey Jr., all these other names that are like, oh, we want him to play it and stuff. And Filoni and Favreau was like, nope, we want Lars. And they got Lars.
Because he's Thrawn, man.
Yeah, he is Thrawn. And they just, you know, we've seen all these pieces play into it from these cartoons, the animated series, and
Right.
they were going to stick with it. And by God, they did it. But they're saying it's not just going to be him in Ahsoka.
Okay.
It's going to be in other Star Wars series, maybe even his own
Oh,
down the
interesting.
line.
Okay.
So, but they really want him. So the whole deal with him and everything isn't just for Ahsoka.
Okay, just like a cameo kind of thing or a small side role.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you know, sometimes, I mean, I get it. Sometimes the people that do the voices, you know, like your Kevin Conroys and stuff that do, you know, Batman and all that, sometimes those people aren't necessarily screen worthy.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't, but as we saw with like Bo-Katan, because she was the same person that was that voiced her on the animated series, she worked out perfectly.
Right.
Like, she is Bo-Katan. Like, she had it down. So Lars Mikkelsen clearly is cut out to be the screen Thrawn. Plus, we also don't know how they're going to do it because he's not exactly... He's humanoid, but he's not exactly like just a normal...
More CGI.
He could be CGI'd up, and there could be stuff they do to him. Who knows how they're going to do it? But it's works for me, man. I'm fine with that. Because a lot of, as I mentioned in other episodes, I wasn't totally sold on some of these other ideas.
Yeah, I know.
Downey Jr. and Cumberbatch and stuff. Love those actors, but I'm like, I don't know if they're going to... I can't see them taking this role, so that kind of works out. Speaking of people taking roles.
So I heard that this Liam Neeson guy said that he would come back as Qui-Gon.
Dude.
Jinn. But the kicker is, when the interviewer asked him about that, he was like kind of confused. He was like, oh, I mean, I guess I didn't think people wanted that character back. I didn't even know if Star Wars was like really a thing anymore.
Wow.
And the guy was like, no, there's like 10 of these new Disney movies coming out. He goes, oh, well, then yeah, I'd be up for coming back as that role. So,
wow.
Where's he been?
I don't know. He might just be making another Taken movie or something.
Seriously.
You know, he might just be completely out of that Star Wars loop. I don't know.
It's weird. I've seen that happen with a lot of like those people where they're just so, even to a certain extent, you can look at some of the people like say Harrison Ford. You know, he's so surly and salty about the whole thing. And I think even when they brought him back to do Force Awakens and all that, like, I don't think he truly understood, like, this, like, Harrison, do you understand that, like, I don't care how much you're like, well, that's stupid kiddie shit that George came up with and all this stuff. It's like, dude, no, you don't understand. Han Solo and Star Wars changed the world. It literally changed the world, Harrison. Like, just get a fucking deal with it, man. This thing, you're like, well, I don't understand why this doesn't go away after all these years. It's like,
no, it's never going to go away.
That's like, yeah. So I think he finally kind of grasped it, you know, after that and everything. Man, Qui-Gon Jinn, dude, I loved I am not a big fan of the Phantom Menace. There are a lot of things about the Phantom Menace I didn't care for. But Qui-Gon Jinn was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I really like that character.
Really liked him. I feel like we got robbed. They shouldn't have killed him so early. He should have lasted through at least one more movie. Maybe died like at the end of Attack of the Clones or something. There should have been more there. They killed him off so soon. It just, I don't know.
I mean, they could technically bring him back somehow. I mean, they brought Darth Maul back by robot legs.
Yeah.
Who was that one bounty hunter who got shot in the stomach in The Mandalorian and she came back with that like mechanical stomach?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They could do that to Qui-Gon possibly.
Well, I mean, Qui-Gon could just come back as a Force ghost, just like Obi-Wan.
True.
I mean, you know, think about it. For 2/3 of the original trilogy, Obi-Wan Kenobi is a blue Force ghost.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, I would love to see Qui-Gon come back in some capacity like that. It's entirely possible. I mean, is he, you know, would he be... Think about it. They've got the Kenobi series coming out. How fucking great would it be if Obi-Wan was able to communicate with his old master, just like Luke could communicate with Obi-Wan and everything? Oh my God, dude! If I got, dude, I'm just thinking about it now. If I got Ewan McGregor as fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi and Force Ghost fucking Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn, dude. I will be so fucking excited. I'm already excited because Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite character in the entire Star Wars universe. And Ewan McGregor is one of my favorite fucking actors. So that's just like total win for me. It even makes me withstand the shitty fucking prequels. That's how awesome Ewan McGregor and Obi-Wan Kenobi are. And as a side note, somebody posted in the squad, I think just today or yesterday, a little thing that Ewan McGregor apparently has a brother who flies in like the Royal Air Force.
Yep.
And his handle is Obi-2.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times.
That's pretty fucking cool, man. You know, that's pretty neat. Speaking of Lucas, of old George and everything, we have
and
some,
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, we have some possible news.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's yet to be confirmed, or it's just a big fat rumor, really. But insider Daniel Rickman is claiming that Lucasfilm is eyeing Chris Pratt to play a young Indiana Jones. Now, Pratt himself has said this is not happening.
Okay.
But is that like to deflect us?
I was just going to say, it wouldn't be the first or the last time we've heard people say, oh, yeah, that's not happening. And then like 6 months later, it's
happening.
It's announced, you know.
Yeah. Daniel's also claiming that this 5th installment of Indiana Jones is going to set up a bunch of spin-offs, kind of like The Mandalorian, and we think WandaVision is.
Okay.
Like, I wonder how that's going to work.
Spin-off who?
How many shows do we freaking need, man?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going crazy with all these spin-offs.
Yeah.
But according to Harrison Ford, he's always said it, and he's sticking to his guns, that Indiana Jones will die with him. He will be the only ever Indiana Jones. And he's 80. And they're saying the
He's
5th installment.
80?
Yeah, he's fucking 80.
Harrison Ford's not 80 years old.
Yeah.
No, he looks
He
great.
was 80?
Harrison Ford was already pretty old by the time they did Star Wars, man. I mean, he was he was like pushing 30, I think. When he did American Graffiti in, what was that, 73 or whatever, he was much older than the rest of the cast, you know, because those guys were all like teens or in their early 20s and stuff, and Harry was like, he was like 27 or something like that, 28. Yeah, he may have even been like 31 or 32 when he did Star Wars. I don't remember exactly, but he was
that right?
Yeah, considerably older.
Yeah, so the 5th installment, they're saying this is it. There's no more Indiana Jones after this because
I'm good with that.
he's not going to make it to another Indiana Jones movie.
I don't even know if I want a 5th Indiana Jones movie.
I don't either.
I'll watch it, of course.
And of course I'll watch it.
Yeah, and I hope it's good, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, what are they going to do? Kill him off? I don't know if I want to see Indiana Jones die.
Don't do that. Don't fucking do that.
You know, like we have to end it. No, you don't. No.
He just retires and sits on the beach then.
But I know that the big
What's wrong
thing.
with that?
Well, I know that the big problem is I think they would have ended it with the 4th movie with Crystal Skull if Crystal Skull wasn't a kind of a disaster. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be.
No, it's not.
But
the book is way better.
But I can understand why they might go, let's end it on a better note.
Yeah, on a high note than a low note. I get that. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Another thing that I think is pretty much confirmed at this point, one of the movies that I was really excited for us to see initially in 2020, because we saw the previous movie, which was Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I was really excited for us to go this past year and see its sequel, which was King Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus King Kong. I mean, come on. That's just... Can you imagine us going to see that in that theater with those Dolby seats?
I was just going to say it's going to have to be in the Dolby theater.
Fuck yeah, it's worth the $13 or whatever it is a ticket. But yeah, so when 2020 happened, and obviously we didn't get that movie, and it was kind of like in limbo. Now they are saying that this movie should be out by the end of March.
Oh wow, soon.
Yeah, very soon. Very soon.
We might have a movie review for you guys.
Dude, I mean, I don't know how
I'm
you
ready.
guys feel about it. I don't care. I'll mask up and bring as much
hand
sanitizer and whatever is possible, but
plastic wrap to put around us.
I really want to go see that in the theater.
I'm down.
To me, that's a theater going movie, you know? I mean, it'd be cool seeing it at home and everything, but it's not the same as going to see it in the theater. No,
it's not.
You down, Vito?
Yeah, I still haven't seen Kong Skull Island or whatever that one was.
Right.
So
I haven't either.
I might have to bone up on that one.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Bone. Yeah.
Oh, boy. That button is getting used more and more.
Our favorite button.
So anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to us going to see that. So hopefully we'll get an official release date soon and more information on where it's going to be showing and all that. One last bit of info for our whole Shakin Bacon segment. Vito, tell us a little bit about this, because this is interesting. This is getting into a little bit of science here.
Yeah, so they developed some kind of new material that can stop bullets. This is a little bit older, and I haven't seen much more information come out since then.
Okay.
But there's a new material called graphene, which if you place two molecules of graphene together, you get diamine.
Okay.
And that material can harden to almost a diamond-like structure when impacted at a certain velocity.
Wow.
Oh.
But if you go past 2 sheets of graphene or just 1, it doesn't do that. It only works in 2 for some weird reason.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, you think more would make it stronger.
Yeah, right. But it doesn't. It like counters the effect or something like that.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, that boggles my mind. I'm obviously not a scientist, so I don't understand this precisely how it works.
I
but
doubt there's anybody listening to this show that is either. You never know. If you are, please let us know.
But they were later, after this article, they were in talks of making some kind of like diamine suit that people could wear. But I mean, the cost for something like that would be
astronomical.
pretty ridiculous. So it's probably not feasible anytime soon.
Yeah, but what about making stuff like that for like agents, like Secret Service agents or Navy SEALs or something like that?
Ooh, Navy SEALs.
Yeah. Ooh, Navy SEALs.
At least some kind of vest that they could wear with like the 3-piece suit or something that could just be that
Right.
material, Doesn't have to be head to toe, I guess. But.
Yeah, but it'd be a lot cooler if it was.
Would Superman be cooler if he had that?
Can Superman be cool? No, I mean he's too much of a goody two shoes to be.
Dude,
I don't know.
You and your Superman prejudice.
I guess he doesn't need it because he's faster than a speeding bullet.
Yeah, and I've seen almost every movie where he's taken bullets and they haven't deflected, or they have deflected off his body. Even when he got shot in the eye, didn't he get shot in the eyeball in one of those?
Well, sure. Why wouldn't? I mean, if his skin is impervious to it, why wouldn't his eyeball be? Don't hate on Superman's eyeballs, man. Hating on my Superman, man. You're always giving him shit. Just ain't right, son. Yeah, I don't.
Sorry, Larry.
But not really.
Anyway, yeah, I think this could be really cool. Like, I'd love to hear more about this. I hope there's more follow-up on this, and maybe they'll, like I said, start applying it more for special military things or something like that.
Yeah. I wonder if they can find a way to manufacture it cheaper.
Yeah.
So make it more feasible.
Yeah, you don't really want to cheap out on something like that.
Well, no, but if
Or
you can
cost-effective, I guess,
cost effective. There you go.
Okay.
To make this a reality.
We'll see.
Time will tell.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
And it is about that time that we sit down and
Get serious.
And have a very stern eye-to-eye talking to with the squad. It is squad talk.
That didn't last.
Yeah. We're going to get into a little squad talk here for you. And this is where we pick something that we like to just particularly focus on and maybe go off on a tangent. I never go off on tangents.
Never.
Ever. I don't know what I'm talking about there. I mean, why would I go off on a tangent? That reminds me of this other thing. I'm just kidding. I go on tangents all the time. Anyway, I won't go on a tangent about going on a tangent. Vito, why don't you make us hip to what the squad talk is about this?
Yeah, so they were talking about this object that whizzed by Earth, and they're saying that it came from an alien world.
Okay.
And first of all, anything that's in space is not from this world, so technically
it's all from an alien
It is
world.
an alien world.
Right.
Or alien region of space.
Right.
So after researching this a little bit, I come to see that there's an astronomer named Avi Loeb who claims that this is like space debris from an alien civilization.
Okay.
Now, he goes into further detail about this in his, get this, book that he's trying to sell.
Oh, no, really?
Called Extraterrestrial. And this flyby happened, I guess, in 2017, but his book is coming out now, or it has come out, and he's talking about this. So he thinks this is some kind of light sail from an alien ship. Now, if you're not familiar with a light sail, it's basically like if you think about a sailboat that is pushed by wind,
Right.
this is a spaceship that is pushed by the radiation pressure given off by the sun and other stars. So it basically has like, what you would think of like a sail, like a sailboat, but it captures light from the sun and uses that to propel the ship forward. Granted, not at high speeds or anything, but it is continuously pushing, and you don't need anything like fuel to have on your ship to propel it. It's all done by light. So
Okay.
very
Be
cost
screwed if you get
effective.
in a black hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's his theory, that it's some kind of alien technology that's coming into our atmosphere or whatever. I don't necessarily buy that. I think it's just some kind of huge chunk of rock that happened to
Right.
flying by us.
Well,
But
I
I'm
mean,
sure he's going to try to sell his book, so he's got to put something in there that's controversial.
Well, you know,
I need to read the book just to see if I can figure it
I
out.
was
Yeah, I
just
guess.
gonna say I'm not gonna bag on what's his name, Avi Loeb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I heard from his brother Ear that you know, earlobe. Anyway, yeah, I love the songs that his sister Lisa put out. You know, Lisa Loeb, she jammed. I should just quit while I'm ahead, right? I'm not even ahead. It's like, what are you talking about, man? You're a couple blocks behind. Anyway, I'm not going to bag on the guy. I mean, I'd be interested in reading this book. It's interesting. I mean, all this stuff, it's just theories. It's just I guess my question was what made him so sure? Yeah, that it was like, oh, it's this. It's like, well, anybody could fucking say anything, you know? Like that. I could be like, oh, well, that's a fragment of rock that broke off of, Ceres or something when it flew by, for all I know, and it's this and that. It emits, fucking rainbow radiation or something. Like, you can come up with any kind of thing. I'm just curious to know what is his hypothesis that makes him think like, oh, it's this.
Yeah, he doesn't really go into that in the article. I guess he's saving that for his book.
Oh, yeah.
But he does bring up a good point. It's that we shouldn't just only be looking for radio signals to tell us that alien civilizations are out there. We have to look for some kind of physical evidence like this that could possibly be space debris or remnants of technology that are out there that we might just gloss over and think it's a rock when it might not be a rock, which, yeah, I agree with him on that. I don't know. I just don't buy this one in
Because
particular.
every other civilization has to be like us that leaves all our shit all over the space.
Right.
Because
We'll pick our shit up.
Yeah.
the Milky Way is basically just like their version of the local,
Dump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like or Calumet Park or something like that, where it's like they're just leaving all their fucking Wendy's wrappers and
Toss it out. as they
diaper
go by.
bags and shit like around. Yeah, it's just just leave it.
Yeah, we go find a planet or moon that has a bunch of technology. We're like, holy shit, a civilization used to be here. And then like 100 years later, someone writes a book that says, no, this was just their landfill, that the civilization from Series XA left on Series A or whatever,
That'd be interesting.
That'd be pretty funny.
It would be.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
I was just watching a video earlier this afternoon, actually, where they were talking about theories about why we haven't actually seen aliens like that or seen any kind of ships or things like that. And there's like a really popular theory going around that these aliens that actually inhabit like our galaxy are basically like cloaking themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like intentionally, because they were explaining like how there's certain like animals and stuff like that in nature on our planet and stuff, that their whole thing is that they're always hiding, they're trying to cloak themselves. Camouflage themselves, essentially.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. And it's for protecting themselves, especially, because they don't necessarily know what us or anybody else would do, and I mean that's valid too, because our initial instinct is like launch something at it, like and everything. But they were going into like great detail about it, and it's too much to get into here. But I thought that was like kind of interesting, depending on what their technology could be and everything. It's like, well, they might be camouflage to a point that's why we can't find any of their any of their stuff and out there and everything. So
Or they might be able to slip into like a mirrored dimension where they're still in our reality, but they're just like off phased or something where we can't see them due to a light shift or something like that. You know?
Right. Plus, I mean, look at realistically, our means of detecting things is so fucking primitive. I mean,
hey, look over there. Do you see something? No. Well, I guess that's it.
here, point. Yeah. Why don't you try pointing the telescope over there for a little while? Okay, we'll do that. You know. Yeah, I mean, it's just so primitive. I mean, we only just just a couple years ago, we just got our first images back from Saturn. We had launched those probes up back in like 97, I think it was. And it took until I think we started getting stuff back maybe like around 2008 or something like that, and then it still took, like, we didn't start getting, I think, the final images from them until it made their way back to us by like 2017. And this was just like observing like storms and stuff on Saturn. I mean, we're still discovering moons. There was moons that we didn't know Saturn had. Until, like, you know, in this past decade or so, they were just like, oh, look at that, there's another moon. I mean, we're still finding moons, and we're gonna be able to detect this fucking stealthy ass alien fucking crafts and life forms out there. Fuck no, we're not.
You know what we need to do? We need to go up there, basically put a fire truck up there. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay, where's this going?
And then we go around. We're like, oh, I think something's there. And we squirt water at it so we can see the cloaking device.
There you go.
Right? And then not only do we get to see the aliens, but then it's going to fall, the planets or whatever, moons and stuff, is going to suck in that water into its orbit, to its gravity. And we're going to create new life on these new planets.
You know, Meg.
Right? It's...
I think we need to have a little talk about science and how these things work.
What a party pooper.
Because first of all, yeah, where do I even start with that? Let's start with sending a fire truck into space. Okay?
Hey, if Tesla sent up a Tesla model.
Right? We already sent a fucking car up there. What's a fire truck?
Yeah.
I don't think you can
with a dummy in it.
But I don't think you can just shoot water in space.
Well,
no, the water would freeze unless you got antifreeze in the water.
See, there's a ways. Let's go pollute space to find aliens.
With chemicals like antifreeze. So if the aliens ingest it, they'll die and we'll never learn any of their information.
Well, our bacteria is going to kill them anyway.
Yeah, that's
so what
true.
Does it matter?
That's true.
Okay, so the plan is... All right, we need to go.
See, it's already being refined.
First, we need to go down to the Citgo station. We need to get all the antifreeze we can. Buy a bunch of them big old jugs of water and everything. We need to get mega space suit, preferably made out of
diamonds.
That diamond stuff, so that the aliens can't shoot her or stab her or anything like that. We're gonna get some sort of Tesla, Elon Musk.
Electric fire truck
that can fly through space. And then we're going to shoot her out towards, like, you know, Saturn or something like that. Probably. I mean, just as long as you don't go darting straight into Uranus. Oh, man. This is just one of the, you know, we've come up with a lot of kooky ideas on this show. This is definitely one of the worst ones.
I just have an image of Meg flying through space with like a squirt bottle of antifreeze, and then one of us going, all right, try to the right. Okay. Psh, nope. Okay, hold on a second. To your left. Nope.
Little squirt gun.
That'd be pretty amazing. That's a teaser idea, actually, right there.
It is, actually.
Just keep squirting until you uncover something, Meg. Meg's like, yeah, it's like, and then because of the whole like time-space continuum thing and everything, it's going to be like Interstellar, where Meg's only going to be like a couple years older, but we'll be long gone. And it's just going to be like, we're going to have to keep like Vito and I are going to have to keep like hiring people. We're going to be like we hire people. Vito and I are going to be like 87 years old, right? And we're going to put out like fucking ads in the Niles newspaper or whatever the Niles ad, and be like, here, we need people to volunteer their lives and everything. And then like we got these people coming in, and they're like, well, what are we interviewing for? And it's like, all right, let me explain something to you. So we sent this crazy broad Megan up into space. She's in an electric fire truck, and she's got a squirt bottle full of antifreeze water. She's trying to find cloaked alien ships, okay? Like, no, she's
Where
still...
are you going? Come back.
She's still up there. Yeah, she's only like 44 years old now, even though we're 87. So we're about to die. So... But somebody's still got to keep in contact with this fucking crazy girl and everything, So we need you to just kind of keep in contact with her. And then, if she still isn't back by the time you're 87 or whatever, then you got to find somebody else. And it's like, this could be like generations and generations of like, the tale of Megan the squirter,
And then the plot twist is the aliens are coming from the other side of Earth, so you've been going in the wrong direction.
The plot twist is at some point. So then after all these, then it goes quiet for all these years, and Meg's just up there like trying to squirt space, trying to find something, and then finally, like all of a sudden one day, she's like, "Oh, I'm getting a transmission," and she's like, "Hello," and it's like,
yes, is this Megan?
and it's like, yeah, this is Megan. It's like,
Yeah, my name is Meepsorb. I'm from a planet in the Andromeda galaxy. We're here on Earth. We've colonized here on Earth for the last
years.
for the last 87 years. What the hell are you doing out there?
looking for you, and it's like, yeah, we're here.
Come on home.
I think it's time to wrap it up. Joke's over, kid. Just wrap it up. Come home. Enough, Now we understand why the other neighboring system's been complaining about all this goddamn
poisonous gas that's in their atmosphere now because it's antifreeze.
Exactly.
Yeah, we thought Saturn and Jupiter were just emitting some kind of weird things into the atmosphere, but now we know it was you.
Oh my God.
Fine. Be a party pooper. See if
Well,
I care.
I just don't think it'd work.
I just need some more fine tuning. That's all.
Okay. That's
We've already made so much progress.
Anyway, well, if you go up there, maybe you can find out for old Earlobe whether or not his space rock is actually part of some alien civilization thing or something, and
I'll do that.
you let us know.
I will.
She's gonna be like riding on it. We're gonna look up there and be like, we're gonna be going to like the Hubble telescope and everything. Be like, we lost contact with Megan. We can't figure out what's going on. Blah blah blah. We go there and they got the Hubble telescope. They're zeroing in on it. And they're like, yeah, we're like, see something. And there she is. She's gonna be on that with like a little fucking cowgirl hat and some boots and everything. And she's gonna be riding this fucking space rock like a mechanical bull and everything with some fucking Hank Williams Jr. playing and shit. With her squirt bottle. Woo-hoo! Squirting. Oh, my word.
Sounds like a good time to me.
Oh, boy.
What do you suggest?
All right, we're at that point in the show where we like to suggest things to you. I don't suggest that you go and try to ride an asteroid like a mechanical bull with a squirt bottle, because I don't think it'll work out for you. And Meg's got dibs on that anyway.
I do. Yeah.
So
You better beat me to it.
yeah. So we're going to suggest some things that we think it's worthwhile for you all to check out. Starting with Vito, you got anything to suggest?
Yes, I've got a YouTube channel that musicians would find interesting.
Okay.
So there's a guy named Patrick Paichman. I'm sure I mispronounced his last name, and I apologize, Patrick. But his last name is spelled Pietschmann. And what Patrick does is he takes like really popular music scores and cinematic scores and plays the piano and does playthroughs with them with this really cool MIDI device where you see like a top view of his hands, and then you see like the MIDI notes coming down, and there's this huge light show that goes with it.
Oh wow!
It's hard to explain, but if you watch, you'd be like, holy shit, that's cool as hell.
Oh,
so you can learn. Yeah, you can learn how to play the songs by watching them, and it's just a cool visualizer to watch. And I just love the stuff he does. He did this Interstellar song that I'm like obsessed with.
Wow.
He does Star Wars stuff.
Right.
It's really good, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out, especially because guess what? I got a keyboard.
Oh, no.
Yeah, oh, no. You thought you was the only one. You thought there could be only one. I got a keyboard now,
Nice.
too. I got a Korg Cross, too.
Nice.
But you got a piano. You got like the big 88-key piano. I got a 61-key synthesizer.
Nice.
So put out the Wonder Twins activate.
Oh man.
Oh man, we're gonna come up with some cool shit, man. So, but yeah, that sounds really cool, man. I definitely want to check that out. Yeah, we'll since Vito's not totally sure how to pronounce it, as always with all these things, we'll put the links in the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening on one of the many platforms that we have the audio on. The links will be down there, or just reach out to us if you need more info.
And he puts his arrangements on iTunes and Spotify and all that. And you can like buy the actual sheet music of his arrangements as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
Very cool. Yeah, some to deep dive into. Okay. Megan.
Okay. Well,
Oh boy. Here we go. She's had the doozies all the whole show.
this is a very big guilty pleasure for me. One of them. It's on YouTube, but it's on TV as well. I happen to watch them on YouTube.
Okay.
It's called Couples Court.
Oh god.
I love this stupid shit so much. I don't know why. I get sucked into people's drama. As long as their drama, not my drama. But it's a married couple. They're judges together, and they're called the Cutlers, Dana and Keith Cutler, and they proceed over the courts together. It's like a joint thing,
Okay.
and they're really funny. And seeing them interact because they like play devil's advocate to kind of see he's like, well, you know, I understand that he's just looking, it's okay or whatever, and she's like, no, it ain't. It's like if you came home like that, you'd be in trouble. Or, you know, it's really funny, but I don't know. I get sucked in people's drama and like.
This is like people's court and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just couples that the other one's messing around or doing something stupid or whatever, and
Oh boy.
they just crack me up.
So where could
And
you
half
find
the
it?
time, these people are totally wrong anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you're just making shit up.
Well, that's
Like, you
typical.
just made yourself look so incredibly crazy
So you can find this. You said you can find this on YouTube.
on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. And then where else is it? Is it shown on regular TV?
Yeah, I think I don't know what channel, but
Okay.
because I don't watch it on there. But
All
yeah,
right.
it's a regular TV show, and it's just on YouTube. It cuts out the commercials,
Oh, okay.
so they're like 15, 17 minutes long.
Right. Yeah. Once you take out
Perfect.
all the fucking
Yeah, dude,
commercials.
for
man.
real.
Yeah.
Especially on daytime TV. Have you guys ever like sat and watched just like NBC during the day
Oh,
or whatever?
God.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Mostly commercials.
Yeah, and it's all about diabetes or fucking
I know.
EpiPens or some
I
fucking
know.
life insurance policy.
know.
It's
I have such a hard time watching daytime television anymore because I associate it with being in the hospital. Because when you're in the hospital, there's not a whole lot to watch, and of course they want you up all fucking day, you know. And it's like normally at home I'm like either sleeping or I'm watching YouTube or I'm doing something. But when you're laying in a hospital bed, which I've had to do too many times, it's just like put on daytime TV. So at like 12:30 in the afternoon or 1 in the afternoon, and it's just nothing but like commercials that are aimed at like the 65 and older crowd, and nothing against 65 and older, but it's like, oh my god, this is just depressing to me. And really bad soap operas or divorce court things and all that shit. You like divorce court too, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Again, I get sucked into other people's drama. I don't want to, but yeah, I get a kick out of it. I don't know why I'm weird. I told you, I warned you, it was a guilty pleasure.
Well, clearly there's other people that like it too because it's pretty popular. Those people like watching that stuff. So yeah, we'll put the information for that in the description below because inevitably somebody's going to say, I want to check that. All right. Well, my suggestion is a book. It's another book. I've been recommending books a little bit lately. And this one is a book called Made Men, The Story of Goodfellas.
I was just going to ask if that was a Goodfellas reference.
Yep, it's written by Glenn Kenny. And he goes through he kind of goes through the movie almost from start to finish. Like he'll talk about the movie, but then he goes off in great detail on tangents, kind of, like. And it's kind of like when you watch a movie, a DVD, and they've got the feature where it can pop up things at the bottom of the screen and tell you all sorts of backstory about the actors or how things were filmed and blah, blah. So it's kind of like that in book form. Lot of really cool information, tons of shit that I just never knew about it. And even like certain things like references and things that I never really got. Like there's the one part when Henry says, like, this was before Appalachian and Crazy Joe and all that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and then that's it. Like they don't ever explain what Appalachian and Crazy Joe is all about. And that's reference to actual real life, because, this is based on a true story. Mm-hmm. Real life things that happened. Crazy Joe was a crazy guy that was involved in the Cosa Nostra, and everything, was like an assassin guy and everything. And there was a big bust that happened. It was back around like 1957 and all this stuff. So it's like a reference to that. And once you understand the reference, now you understand like, oh, I get what he means then with what he's talking about. But it's like little inside stuff that you just don't know, you know?
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like, in other movies like that. It's like watching Almost Famous, and then they make a reference in there to, that one song when, whatever, Wilson Pickett, and he does that little noise and everything. And it's like, if you don't know that song, it's just like, oh, I don't get it. But if you know that song, you're like, oh, shit, yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. This book kind of fills in a lot of those gaps and everything. It's a really cool book, And
nice.
that's that.
And that's that.
Yep. There was
They need to do
Nothing
something
we
like
can
that
do
for
about it.
every movie.
Yeah. Yep. There was, we had a little problem, and there's nothing we can do about it. What do you mean? He's gone. What do you mean he's gone? He's gone. There's nothing we can do about it. And that's that. And like our show, that's pretty much that, other than
One more thing.
Yeah, we should definitely make a recommendation. And it's for another show, kind of like ours and a little bit and everything on YouTube and stuff. And it's called Pushing Up Roses. And it's a nice young lady who calls herself Pushing Up Roses on there. And it's so much fun what she does.
She's awesome. Yeah.
She's great. You said she's from around here.
She is. I don't know what city specifically, but I know she's from the Chicagoland area.
See, and I didn't even realize that at first. She does things where she basically will recap shows, various shows and things. And in a humorous way, she pokes a lot of fun at them and stuff, but it's done reverentially. Like, she's not bagging on stuff. It's like she'll talk, like, one of the first things that really caught a lot of people's attention was her Murder, She Wrote stuff, where she likes to kind of...
Great.
And they're really funny. But it's not like in a way where it's making fun of it like this is a bad show. She loves the show. Yeah. But she just brings up some of the crazy absurdities of some of the stories and things that happen in there. She does it for that. She does it for Goosebumps. She does it for X-Files, Magnum P.I.
Yeah.
Like, she does like all these different ones that she's a fan of, and she just finds funny things to comment about it and everything.
She does a lot of stuff on video games, specifically full motion video games, which I am obsessed with, and point and click adventure games, which I am also obsessed with.
Yes,
so that's how I first found out about her, like a few years ago. So
I found out about her because of the Murder, She Wrote thing. and they're just hilarious because you know me, I don't dislike Murder, She Wrote, but it's another one of those connotation things in my head where I'm like, oh God, I just associate it with being bored. Just like, you know, it's like, oh, let's watch Murder, She Wrote. It's like, oh God, I just want to go watch some heavy metal videos, please. You know, it's like, no, we got to watch this old lady solve these old lady crimes. It's like, oh God. Now I have more appreciation for it. But I love the fact that she can playfully poke fun at these stories while at the same time acknowledging that like they're really good, you know? So yeah, she's a great channel. If that's the kind of stuff that sounds like up your alley, if you like that stuff, if you're into like the nostalgia critic type of thing, but maybe not quite as over the top, you know, she's a little bit more chill than that. Yeah, she's a little more chill and she's very witty and stuff. So yeah, Pushing Up Roses, it's a really good show. She again, we'll put the link to her channel down there, but she can be found on Twitter and on Facebook and Instagram and all that. She's on all the social media too. So all right, like I said, it's time to
one in the books.
Yeah, it's time to take the corpse and throw it into the river. Tie a couple of bricks around it and everything, you know, hope it sinks to the bottom. Hope they don't go scraping the river for it and everything because they don't need to find Tommy's body. He's gone. You just forget about it. He's gone. So with that, we cue the outro music. We will be back. We'll be back hopefully soon with episode
18.
18. See, each one I can now, we're getting into all those rock song ones. You know, you've got Christine 16, she's only 17, 18. Whatever. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye, guys.
See ya.